Thank you very much for joining me on this Monday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. I do want to mention real quickly, I don't do a million videos every day on YouTube because, again, pride myself in some accuracy. The forecast is holding. I see those other videos that say major update or this just got worse. And again, I'm not trying to get clicks on this. All right, I just want to get you the information you need for safety. And I do like to promote other people. In North Florida, Mike Burrish, a great meteorologist, Tom Terry, Cassandra Crimmy, George Waldenberger in Central Florida, Matt Devitt, as we work our way into southwestern Florida. I'm going to put in the links, a link to either their website or their page or whatever. So as you follow along with this system, you could follow them along too as well. I'm not offended in any way. They are good people and great meteorologists. So again, looking down here, this here is Idalia. And again, it will become a major hurricane. It is on track, unfortunately, from what I had yesterday. I like doing a right forecast, but I wish I had better news to pass along. There is Franklin and my friends in Trinidad and Tobago watching another tropical wave that'll get close to Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada. I want to break that down further. Also watching Bermuda again with Franklin. Here's the very latest on Idalia, and this is what's going on. Now, warnings are up. Hurricane warnings, a huge portion of the west coast of Florida, even tropical storm warnings down through southwest Florida. First, though, it moves into Western Cuba. Western Cuba, my friends, we could see landslides and flooding, a developing hurricane right on top of Western Cuba as we go throughout the day today, then lifting to the north. And I do believe this will become a major hurricane. We've been talking about this since last week just because of the water temperatures in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Again, the models did not do a good job latching onto the development out of this. They're computers, and they do take into account water temperatures, but I don't think they take into account how impactful they can be. So again, the computers have limitations, and that's why I try to look at everything else for you. With that said, here are the computer models. So you can see them here again. Now, they did shift a little bit more to the east over the last couple days, and again, they kind of go back and forth a bit. So watching this, a potential landfall in the Cedar Key area, that's the Big Bend area of Florida, and then keeping an eye down the road, parts of Georgia and the Carolinas. More on that in a minute. But here are the computer models. Those squiggly lines tell you location. They don't tell you strength, but here over time, 36 hours from now, so late tomorrow. Again, most of the computer models have this at least a Category 1 hurricane, some a Category 3. And I do believe it could become a Category 3, which would be a major hurricane. Those are winds of 111 or greater. And that is the big concern because wherever this comes in, you've got major impacts that are going to come in with it. Now, as far as the timing goes, again, throughout the day, tropical storm to hurricane conditions will be possible in extreme western Cuba. That's the first thing. Then, as you get into later tomorrow, especially by tomorrow evening, west coast of Florida, conditions will be going downhill rapidly, especially by tomorrow night, in through early on Wednesday in parts of Florida, and then I'll take you down the road. So let me get to this. Again, making the preps panhandle of Florida throughout the Tampa area, even down through Fort Myers for that potential of at least tropical storm impacts. It's a higher concern. I know it can be tough and not everyone has the means to do all these crazy preparations, but it is one of those systems because of how strong it's going to be that more of us need to make the preps, even though it may not directly come into your direction, and that's a good thing. And you could keep that hurricane kit ready for another time. But because of how strong it's going to be, that is the concern. Please make some of those preparations in that area that I was highlighting, even points inland, of course, for the possibility of some power outages. So as Franklin moves up to the north, high pressure builds in, winds around it clockwise, helps to spin this in right up into the northeastern Gulf. There's a front here that'll block it from going west. Those are the steering conditions with this. Here's the American model, and you can see it here. And again, I'll touch on the European model in just a second. I'll get into this in a moment. That is Franklin. But this is later today, really winding up. Look at Western Cuba. Very heavy rain moving in. Yucatan and Mexico, thank you. I met a lot of new friends there with the comments yesterday. I do appreciate that. You've been keeping me posted down through Belize and Honduras, what's been going on, even through the Cayman Islands. Now, heavy rain later today, even into parts of tomorrow in Cuba. And then this system intensifies and moves into Florida by late tomorrow. Here's the issue with Florida. Because this is making a curve like this, it is very tricky to see where this comes on shore. Ian, let's see, Irma, Charlie all moved more east than expected. And I like to give you the heads up on stuff. This could hook in a little bit sooner. American model takes us a little bit closer to the Big Bend by tomorrow night and Wednesday morning with a landfalling major hurricane. It can hook in over toward Tampa. That is not out of the question, especially because Tampa, St. Petersburg, it kind of sticks out, takes a good wobble, and this could sneak in even quicker. So again, monitoring that carefully and then lifting up through Georgia and the Carolinas. Georgia and the Carolinas, hang on, I want to get to that down the road. I'll expand this out in a moment. Even some of these feeder bands still stretching down through Cuba and even near the Cayman Islands by the time we get into late tomorrow. The European model is a little bit more to the east, more over towards Cedar Key and Old Town, kind of just splitting hairs here. We'll see how it goes down the road. Again, the good thing that makes me feel comfortable in a situation like this is the awareness. I believe it is there. You're watching me right now, and I believe people are taking those preparations. That's my number one concern, and then we'll see what happens. Then we just go from there and we will see what happens. But I want you to prep because you know how those water temperatures have been throughout the Caribbean, the Atlantic, and the Gulf. They have been so warm for all of us this year, above average. It's usually warm in summer, obviously. Now, here are the winds, and you see as we go out in time, these reds here, those are winds of 70 miles per hour, 110 kilometers an hour, and then some of the yellows and even some of the greens start to pop up. That's when we get near major hurricane status. This would be by Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, there would be a landfall. If it's near Tampa, that would be about 4 in the morning Wednesday morning. If it's closer to Cedar Key and Old Town, that would be closer to 7 to 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and then some gusty winds south Georgia up through the Carolinas, different type of vegetation there, so that would be more likely to have some trees down in some spots with some of those stronger winds moving in. Of course, when the system moves in, it does start to diminish. Now, we get a look at this. Storm surge warnings are up. There's more on that on WFTV.com. I'll get to that in a moment. 7 to 11 foot surge. Just on the orientation of this, with the storm coming this way, there's nowhere for that water to go. So there's going to be a very good push of water with this, unfortunately, a very significant surge out of that. So West Cuba first. Flooding, landslides, a potential today and tonight. Florida making the preps, not all of Florida, but again, in these locations I've been talking about, power outages will be likely, especially where this does come on shore. And again, watching that surge, especially around Tampa Bay and to the north with those storm surge warnings and that Wednesday morning landfall with this system. Of course, you get the impacts out ahead of it. We'll start to see some of that moving into Florida tomorrow. So again, this is Idalia. Harold already fell apart. Gert as well. Franklin is still out there. We still have Franklin. Now, I'll put a link to this. There's going to be some live streaming on WFTV.com. If you like to follow storms, if you have interest in hurricanes or Florida as a whole, there'll be some live streaming for you tomorrow with this, everything going on. I'll put a link to that. Check out the description to that. You can just bookmark it and have that for you. All right, chance of development elsewhere out there. Watching this spot off the coast of Africa. Keep it in mind that these a lot of times trek toward the Caribbean, right? Well, I believe the next couple waves may try to stay out to sea. That would be awesome. They'll come off on a slightly higher latitude. That gives them a better chance to kind of hook away. But there is Franklin. Franklin, the first major hurricane of the season. And there's that next tropical wave that'll start to move into Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados. I want to get to that as well. Lots to cover. Now, on this heading now, Bermuda, we'd be okay. But any closer, that could bring in some at least tropical storm impacts. That's why there's a tropical storm watch out. Of course, the seas are going to be a mess. There's no doubt about that. But again, on this heading, it would mainly hook around. But again, too close for comfort. Tropical storm watch is out. Could be changed to a warning. Get some gustier winds moving in on Wednesday. Could see some of those rain bands moving in. Watching it very carefully for you. I know you're watching it as well in Bermuda. And again, Canada, we are still on track for the bulk of this to stay offshore. Carolinas, Georgia, you could keep an eye on this as well. This is the expanded view for you. Taking out in time, there's Bermuda. And you can see this trying to just hook around Bermuda. I like that. I like when they stay over water. That is a good thing. I don't like this down here, which is Idalia, and that will be getting stronger. Now, front works in to New England and eastern Canada, the Atlantic region of Canada, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland. Again, the heaviest weather stays offshore, but the rain is going to be really tied to a front that will be moving in. And then we'll see how this blob does here, what's left of Idalia. If it crosses near the Tampa area and gets into the water sooner, it could stay a little bit stronger. If it moves in toward the panhandle of Florida, it will weaken quicker, but still a lot of rain throughout the southeastern portion of the United States. Now, let me bring it back into the Caribbean. So again, covered this heaviest weather offshore Belize and Honduras. There's the next tropical wave moving in. That is going to bring rain into Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Vincent, the Grenadines. And here are a couple of these tropical waves out here. That one should again move out to sea. So I'll keep an eye on both of these though, kind of on the back burner, but I'm watching them. Early indications are they aren't going to make the long trek across the Atlantic, but I'll watch out for any changes. So again, covered this. Let me get back here. Watch what happens. This is later today. As we flip over into tomorrow, this next tropical wave moves into the Eastern Caribbean, mainly the Southeastern Caribbean. I'm not seeing any signs of development with it. We'll have some isolated areas of flooding. There it is right there. Trinidad, again, northeastern Venezuela. We'll see that chance of rain. St. Lucia, even on the edge of Martinique, Dominica, may get some showers out of this. Barbados, we'll see some gustier winds. If you get some of those rain bands with this tropical wave, get some gustier winds at times. But watching the rain on our Tuesday. So the rain chance increases Southeastern Caribbean as we work our way through our Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I'm hoping that some of it hangs together, that by at least Wednesday night, we could get a couple showers over by the ABC Islands. Eastern Pacific side, while I'm watching some of the rain from my friends in Southwest Mexico, again, no real true organization out there at this time. So the Yucatan of Mexico, rain chance finally going down some. Same thing as we get toward Belize. Still that chance of some scattered showers around though. Cayman Islands, rain chance about 30 to 40% over the next few days. And in Jamaica, it is going to be hot. Rain chance is not too high. Isolated shower storm. Puerto Rico, also very hot. Rain chance only 20%. 20 to 30% chance the next few days, Turks and Caicos. The Bahamas, 30 to 40% chance. I'll keep an eye on Idalia as it works its way into Florida to see if we get any of that rain back through the northern sections of the Bahamas. Trinidad and Tobago, as I was just showing us, for tomorrow, that rain chance gets high. Isolated flooding, especially south side of Trinidad. Barbados, again, with that system moving in, that tropical wave, rain chance higher tomorrow. 50% chance, enhanced chance of rain tomorrow with that tropical wave in St. Lucia. As we work our way back through Haiti, just some isolated storms possible. Same thing in the Dominican Republic, 30 to 40% chance the next few days. Rain chance higher again tomorrow in Grenada. Keep me posted in the comments, and as we work forward into the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, very limited chance of a passing shower. Same thing, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire. I'm hoping that tomorrow night, again, a few of those showers will hang together with that tropical wave. 60% chance, though, Trinidad, or rather St. Vincent and the Grenadines down through Trinidad and Tobago for tomorrow. And as we get back toward Guadeloupe, rain chance tomorrow at 40%. A 50% chance in Dominica. And as we get just to the south, Martinique, rain chance 50% tomorrow, 40% chance on Wednesday. 20 to 30% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat. 20% chance today and tomorrow, Antigua and Barbuda, and not a whole lot as we get toward Anguilla. Rain chance about 20%. As we work our way back toward St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, rain chance 30 to 40% the next few days. Costa Rica, rain chance drops off a little bit, but still scattered to widespread rain and storms. Northern Venezuela tomorrow and Wednesday, a 40% chance. Guyana up to a 40% chance tomorrow, nothing widespread though, and only a 10 to 20% chance as we work our way into Suriname. So again, all eyes on Idalia, watching that again in Cuba first, Western Cuba, then major hurricane impacts parts of Florida, watching those water temperatures. It could get intense rapidly, so watching out for the intensification in this. And then Franklin near Bermuda, just about halfway through hurricane season. Long way to go, but I'll keep you covered. I do this channel for safety. I hope you're enjoying at least watching it. But again, I want the folks, I want you prepared. If you got a system coming your way, preparation is everything. It is everything in awareness. You're watching this, so hopefully you are aware. I'll be watching the comments throughout the day, tracking weather nonstop, of course. Thank you for being with me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.